Hello, 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 and welcome to Jamaicans.com. We are live. I am your host, Deborah Johnson. Welcome. I know you're looking around and you're probably like, wait a minute, a little bit different scenery here. So this is the other side of my kitchen, guys. So welcome to the other side of my kitchen. I figured I'll try something out a little bit different. So let me know how you like it, all right? So thank you again for coming on. This evening we are going to be talking about a little bit about childhood obesity. We're also going to be talking about how we can feed our children. I have a plethora in front of me here. I'm going to be sharing a couple of different recipes that you can use with your children at home. And I actually have a person here that I'm going to interview. Yeah, we're going to interview somebody today. So that's going to be kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that. And that's going to come towards the end. First, we're going to, of course, get some housekeeping things out of the way. I'm wondering how you guys are doing. How are you guys doing? How was your weekend? What did y'all do? Did you do anything fun? What did I do? Well, I went for a run. I went for, maybe about 5 miles on Sunday, and I did a little bit of walking as well. And Saturday, I don't remember what I did on Saturday, but what did you guys do? As you're coming in, let me know what y'all did for y'all weekend. I say y'all a lot, right? Y'all. Anyway, I hope you guys like the new setup that we have here for those of you who are just coming on. Okay, so let's get the housekeeping stuff out of the way. So huge thank you to Jamaicans.com for this platform, for giving me the opportunity to come out here and talk to you guys about nutrition. The topic this evening I'm excited about because I have a child and I know some of you do. And if you don't, you probably have cousins, you have friends, you have nephews and nieces and so forth, and you care about what they eat. So this is not only going to help you in your household, but you're going to be able to help others, all right? So we're going to be getting into those topics today as it relates to what we're feeding our children. Okay, so bring your questions. I'm hoping to be able to answer them. I have a secondary phone here. I'll be able to look to see, hopefully, your questions as you're asking them. So again, because we're still using this phone, but I think we're doing a little bit better today than we were last week. Okay, so a little bit about me for those of you who are just coming on and do not know who I am. Again, my name is Deborah. I am a nutritionist, plant-based specifically. That's my focus. I try to preach plants, I push plants, I promote plants, and I eat plants. I'm a vegan or a plant-based eater. That's what I do. Welcome, Russell. I see you coming in. Guys, hit the like button. Share this with other people. We're going to be talking about feeding our children. So if you know anybody who wants to know anything about this, please share it on your page and invite them to come and be here with us. So in addition to being a plant-based nutritionist, I'm also a community health educator. In my community, I live in the Bronx, so I'm originally from Yard, from Jamaica, born and raised. But right now I live in the Bronx, and that's where I do a lot of my work. That's where I do most of what I do is concentrated in the Bronx and around New York, Harlem, and all of that. I also have founded a company called My Temple Wellness. And with that company, I basically help organizations to establish nutrition education programs. So for example, with churches, that's one of the places that I tend to gear my business towards, are churches, because as you hear the name, My Temple Wellness is based on a scripture, guys, that says, don't you know your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, right? So that's my focus. But again, guys, share this, like it, invite friends, tag a friend. You know, if you know they have children, we're going to get into the topic right now. All right. So before I do, let me know where you guys are also calling in from. What state are you in? Are you in Jamaica? Are you in Barbados, London? Where you there? Let me know which part of the world you guys are coming in from. I see Annette. Hello, Annette Carvalho. I think I'm saying that right. I'm going to try to see because some of this stuff is coming up on the screen. So put your questions up. Put your comments up. Tony Kelly, Wagwan, what's up, sir? Good to see you as usual from Birmingham. Yes, my regards to you and your family as well. Jennifer Bennett, good evening. Toronto in the house. Guys, put your place so I can't call or note. Put your place, where you calling from. And if you're coming from Jamaica, if you're hailing from Jamaica right now, put that down. I want to know if you guys are watching from Jamaica. It's always nice to have some of our originals on Brooklyn. Yeah, man. Enough people, enough Jamaican people live in Brooklyn. For those of you guys who don't know, Bronx and Brooklyn is predominantly a lot of Jamaicans. All right, I'm not seeing none of you guys saying anywhere else you're from, so I think I'm gonna get into the show. All right, nobody else. That was Marie from Brooklyn, Annette's Jamaica, Lorna Lowy, I think that's how I'm saying it right. Hi, Miss Deborah, good evening. I'm watching your topic tonight. It's very interesting. Thank you. Yes, a very interesting topic. We're gonna get right into it, guys. Sharon Bryan, hello from Chesapeake, Virginia. Good to have you on again, Miss Sharon Bryan. Lovely to see all of you guys this evening. All right, so yeah, if you're coming in late, Grace Purpose, hey girl. Good to see you guys. All right, so let's get right into the topic today. We're going to be talking a little bit first about childhood obesity. So childhood obesity has really gotten out of control over the last, I want to say 20 to 30 years, right? It's really gotten out of control for all of us, not just for children, for adults as well. And you guys know that when it comes to obesity or being overweight, it's the driver of a lot of the illnesses that we see today. Now, the top diseases or the top things that we're concerned about, type 2 diabetes, right? And specifically when it comes to children, which is who we're going to be talking about today. And when I'm talking about children, I'm talking about from basically from birth straight up to about 18, 19, right? And that's about the age that we're really going to be focusing on today. Obviously, a lot of this stuff does apply to adults. So, because whatever you're eating affects the body. So it's going to be practically the same thing, but just a little bit different as it pertains to children. All right. So if we look at the obesity in America, for example, right, there's about 37 million cases of obesity in children. That's a lot. Sorry, 13.7 rather. My bad. 13.7 million children in America are obese, right? And the percent in Jamaica is not as high, obviously, right? But a lot of the children between the ages of 13 and 15, boys, there's about 10% of the boys that are obese in Jamaica, and about the same for girls. So it's almost pretty much balanced. So, you know, that's a percentage that we have to work at, right? We can't just look at it and say that, okay, you know, children are obese, we leave it alone. We have to actually address it. We have to actually focus and see what we can actually do to do it. So now, because you care about your children, we all love and cherish our children, right? We care about them. We want them to live long, healthy lives. This is something we have to address, right? We cannot not address it because we love our children. We teach them other things. We teach them how to be compassionate to others. We teach them how to read. We teach them how to write. We teach them all these different things. And a lot of times we tend to forget this particular area. We forget to teach them how to eat, right? What's the best way to eat? And then if you think about it, a lot of the restaurants, when you go into the restaurants, just looking at the kids menu, you can see that there's a huge problem. There's a huge disconnect because what's happening is the menu for children, it's all unhealthy food. So the restaurants are also telling our children what they should eat by putting on mac and cheese, burgers, French fries. That's what's on the kids menu. There's not a lot of, vegetable options for them. They are being told, hey, these are the foods that you should be eating exclusively, and this is your food. But that's not really the case. Kids should be eating what we're eating. If we're taking care of our bodies and eating foods to heal our bodies, they should be doing that as well. All right. And our guest is going to talk a little bit about that when he comes on in a little bit. So I'm going to go down, the way I'm going to be doing this show today is a couple of things. I'm going to go down the top 10 foods that kids love the most. Okay. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about those foods. All right. So you're going to learn about the foods that your kids are enjoying, what to do, some ways that you can actually make some changes. And then also what I'm going to be doing is giving you some tips at the end as well. We're going to prepare a few different things here today. I'm going to show you some great options for your children that you can try. Hi Marlene, I'm good. Good to see you. Hope you're well as well. Good to see you on. All right, guys, let's jump right into our list. As you know, I like to have my notes just to be sure I'm not missing anything. So peanut butter and jelly, that's number one on the list for parents. It's easy, right? And I have my peanut butter here, and focusing specifically on peanut, right? Peanut butter. So I have two options here. Now, this one I happened to pick up in a rush. I didn't read the label. Confession, I know. We never have time, so I didn't read the label. It was peanut butter. I looked to see that it was the one that had the crunch in it. That was it. It was a speed purchase, right? And so I just grabbed it. This one, on the other hand, I purchased. I was more careful about it. This is the one I generally buy. And the difference between the two, ingredients. So with peanut butter, this particular peanut butter, for example, this peanut butter has this other one, right? It has peanuts, cane sugar, palm oil, and salt, okay? This other peanut butter has only two ingredients, peanuts and some sea salt. So as far as your choice, right, you're going to be choosing the option, right? I'm giving you guys these tips right away. You're going to be choosing the option that has the least amount of ingredients, okay? So this would be your choice. It only has peanuts and salt. Now, technically, you can even get the one without salt because they do have that option in the supermarket, right? Depending on where you're shopping. So you can find the peanut butter without the salt if you choose to do that. Otherwise, just peanut butter and salt is good. Now, palm oil and sugar, cane sugar. Why do you think we would need sugar in our peanut butter? Do you honestly think we need sugar? These folks obviously thought we need sugar in our peanut butter. We don't. Do we need oil? No, because peanut actually has already some fat in it. So they're adding things that your body doesn't need, that your children do not need. So that's the first thing I want to tell you. When you're making, nothing wrong with giving your child a peanut butter sandwich, just make sure you're using the right peanut butter, okay? Because palm oil has saturated fat, and your kid, you don't want to have plaque start building up at a young age, because as early as 10 years old, they're finding plaque in children's arteries, all right? So I want you guys to be aware of that. And things like these, right? Fatty foods that have all these other additives to it is a part of the problem, all right? So I want you guys to keep that in mind. When you're thinking about the bread for the peanut butter, avoid the white bread. Now, white bread is not the best option because they stripped away all nutrients from the grain. Okay, so what you want is whole grain. Today I was even in the supermarket and I ran out of bread, and I was like, okay, let me get some bread. And I could not find bread that said whole grain. On the front it says whole grain, but when you read the ingredients, it's whole wheat. Now there's a difference between the two, so I want you to be careful when you're purchasing your bread to buy the whole grain bread. Obviously, if you can't find it and you need to get the whole wheat, that's better than the white bread. Okay, so for peanut butter and jelly or any sandwiches, make sure that you're using the whole grain bread as a better option. It's going to help with not having all these what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to be the better option. Let's leave it there because we have a lot to cover. I don't want to get too deep into that. All right. The other option that you can do with peanut butter, which is really, really great, and we're going to show you that today, is peanut butter is a great healthy snack. So most kids love peanut butter, right? So what I suggest is to get some apples, which we're going to do shortly. I'll show you guys. It's very simple. I probably won't even have to do this one, but you're going to basically get your apples, slice them up. You're going to also get, you could get celery sticks. This is a great way to get them to eat their fruits and vegetables, right? You're going to cut these up. You're going to use your good peanut butter. Remember the peanut butter I told you, without all that stuff. And this is a great snack for kids when they come home. They can dip it in, not the whole jar, take some out, scoop some out, a tablespoon or two, maybe not two, but maybe one, and have them enjoy this. This is an excellent snack, guys. Really, really good. And again, with other options, right? Nutrients are in it. It builds the body. And that's really important. Okay, so that's what you do with your peanut butter. Mac and cheese, another favorite. So that was one. Number two is mac and cheese, another favorite of kids. You guys already know, you don't know, it's already about milk, dairy. Okay, you understand the implications of using dairy. Now, no problems if you really must make it yourself. I think it's better than getting the box option. So if you see those box mac and cheese, whether it's the Kraft mac and cheese, and I'm not saying nothing against any brand, but you have to be careful. And it has this chemical in it called tarazine, and I wrote that down because I know I wasn't gonna remember it. Tarazine is a dye, a specific dye, yellow number 5, and it's associated with behavioral changes, right? Which also has to do with like irritability, and you don't want that with your kids. Even depression is linked to that, right? And they did a study, and it shows that these dyes that they're putting in the foods, which is one of the things I want you guys to keep in mind for. Anytime you see red dye or yellow dye or any of that stuff in the food, please don't get it. They have cancer-causing properties. Okay, these yellow dye, you see like the M&Ms and Skittles and all these food that they put these fake coloring in, those foods have this chemical and others that are causing cancer. All right, so obviously I don't want to scare anybody, guys. You want to balance, right? You want to make sure that if they have a little bit of that, that they're not eating that out of proportion, right? They're eating a small amount, maybe 2 or 3 every now and then, all right? And we'll get into more tips on, the behavioral side of it in a second. I really want to focus on the ingredients, all right? So it has contaminants. You don't want to do those mac and cheese from the box. I only chose that 1 or 2 ingredients from the box. There were a bunch of other ingredients that I didn't even want to address. I just wanted to address the most, I would say the most toxic one. And that's the dye, right? Derek Muir. Yeah, I'm in Jamaica. Wagwan Yadi. Welcome. Good to have you, Mr. Derek Muir. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, so when it comes to these dyes that are in the food, guys, they're putting it in the mac and cheese box. So make your own mac and cheese. You cannot go wrong. A lot of the advice I'm going to be giving this evening will tie you back to making your own. All right, that's what I want you guys to start thinking about, making your own, and I'll give you some encouragement about that at the end. Pizza. So if you want to do pizza, we're gonna do a version of that today. I'm gonna show you guys how to make a quick, simple pizza. The dough is fattening, right? So if you're using a lot of that white flour, or they're the ones you buy at the pizza shop, that has a lot of salt. It has all that cheese on top. So you have to be careful with that. And really the thing I want to point out about that specifically is the pepperoni. So pepperoni has carcinogen in it. Okay, and I want you guys to hear this stuff. I know some people are scared because they love their kids and they're worried for their children, but I really want you to understand that this is very important, right? And it's not just like we have to know these things, and then when we know them, the truth will set us free, right? So we can make changes, right? So I'm only informing you about it so you can make changes, right? Hey, Tamika Wagwan, welcome, girl. It's good to see you. So I wanted to point out the pepperoni in the pizza. If you're giving your child pizza, please do not add the pepperoni. The pepperoni is really not good. It's one of the processed meats that has carcinogens, and carcinogen is basically going to be causing, it's cancer causing. That's basically the definition of a carcinogenic food, all right? So I want you guys to avoid that. And it has sodium nitrate, which keeps the salt in it. Again, guys, pepperoni, deli meats, bacon, things you want to avoid because they have all of these carcinogens in it. Hamburgers, another favorite, the number 4 favorite of kids, right? Kids love hamburgers. Please, again, with this one, make your own. It's going to be better. You can make bean burgers if you're trying to have a more plant-based options. And again, if you guys want me to share my bean burger recipe with you, let me know. I'll be happy to share it with you. It's a lot of ingredients, but it's worth it, all right? So you could create your own black beans, smash them up, put your favorite things in it, little mushrooms, salt and pepper, form them with some flour. I use bean flour, form them, and put them in the air fryer, or you can even fry them on stovetop or put them in the oven, and they're really, really good. Take some time to get used to if it's a child, but I'm going to give you some tips on how to get the kids into that as well, right? So try veggie burgers, right? Veggie burgers are good. I also suggest that if you're thinking about these new plant-based burgers, like Beyond Burgers, for example, I'm not recommending any of those. I'm recommending you making your own, and if you can find one in the store, that doesn't have too many ingredients, right? So every time I'm recommending something, 5 ingredients or less. Look at the back, look at the ingredients label, and see how many ingredients does this have? Wow, 12 ingredients? Oh, I'm not buying that, right? So you got to keep that in mind, all right? So look at your burger, and then portion control. When you go to the store to get the burger for the child, don't supersize them, right? Don't get the supersize option. For example, like large up fries and large up juice, right? Get the regular basic one if you're going to enjoy that food. French fries is next, since we're talking about burgers. Guys, French fries, again, it's another easy one you can do at home. Cut up the sweet potatoes or regular potatoes. You can put them in the oven and bake them. Just put a small bit of oil, salt, and pepper, and that's a great option for your kids, okay? Now, the next one is hot dogs, number 6 on the list. These are the top, if you just joined, this is the top favorite foods of kids, and I'm giving you the good and the bad about it, but also what you can do, right? Like a fix, okay? So when it comes to hot dogs, deli meats, I mentioned that, salami, bologna, beef jerky, bacon, all of that stuff, guys. These are the foods that are found with carcinogen. And I remember when I was doing my chemistry class and I was reading about this, nitrate, right? Because we have to learn about chemicals and understand how they affect the body. And in the chemistry book, it literally said that these things affect the body and can cause cancer. And then I literally highlighted it and said, so why are we not telling people this? Why are we not shouting this from the mountaintops? You know, my son, when he found out what was in hot dogs, he's like, oh my goodness, I will never eat another hot dog again. So education, right? You need to educate yourself, but also educate your child so they understand what's in it. But carcinogen, I've been saying that word a lot since we started. It's a cancer causing, okay? And cancer doesn't happen immediately, right? You eat the hot dog and then you end up with, the C word. It's over time. It takes a long time. So you want to give your child the optimal health by setting them up early, right? So no matter how young they are, it may seem like, okay, they're little and nothing's going to happen at the age. You're basically building a culture with them, but also in their bodies. You're basically inviting these diseases into their bodies. Type 2 diabetes was once an adult disease, right? Now, type 1 did affect children, but type 2 was never really affecting children. They had to change the name to type 2 from adult onset diabetes to type 2 diabetes because children were also getting it, right? So it no longer was just adult onset diabetes. It now just became type 2 diabetes, right? And type 1. So they're making changes to names of diseases because kids are getting them. And back in the days, kids were not getting these diseases. And it's because of the food. It's always been about the food. All right. And so we need to pay attention to what our children are, stuffing in their faces, what they're eating and what we're giving them. All right. So hot dogs, guys, I don't have a substitute. Please don't eat them. That's all I can really say. I don't know I can't butter that up for you. Please avoid eating these deli meats, these beef jerkies, these hot dogs. They are bad for the body. I don't have a substitute. They're listed on the World Health Organization as carcinogen. World Health Organization, right? These organizations that tell us what to do and about our health, they listed it as a carcinogen. All right, so it's not just me saying it, it's factual. All right. And it's an easy food, right? So I understand why you buy it. I understand why you get it because it's an easy food. Some kids of age, they could literally just go get a pot, put a little hot dog in there and eat it. It's very convenient, and I get that. But we're going to have to find a better way to feed our kids, and that's why I'm going to share with you guys in a little bit some of the options, all right? All right, soda. So soda, again, it has this thing called benzene, carcinogen. I also did a little thing for you guys. If you were on my show before, you might have seen me do this before. This is the amount of sugar. 14 teaspoons of sugar can be found in this Coca-Cola. This is a small one. This is 16 ounce. All right. So if your kid drinks one of these a day, they're basically consuming this. If they drink 2, obviously twice as much, right? So you got to be careful when you're saying or you're purchasing soda and you have a large cup. Like if the kid has a big cup, it's not really a cup, but you know what I mean? They have a large cup, right? This is my NutriBullet. But if you see your kid and you have these large cups and they come and you're drinking a large cup of soda, That's a huge problem. That's going to be causing a huge issue in the body. Sugar is not, and I hate to keep bringing up the C word, guys, but cancer is fed by sugar. All right, you guys can research that. So I want you to be aware of that. Hey, cuz Shirley, what's up? So I want you guys to be aware of that. This is what you can find, this much sugar in this one bottle. All right, so be aware of that. Soda is another kid's favorite. They love soda. Pancakes, the ingredients, again, be wary of that. You can make your own pancake mix, guys. You just need a little bit of brown sugar, mix up some flour, baking soda, and make your own. And I'm encouraging you to take on the role of helping your child, right? You are the one that's going to be making the difference. And remember, guys, share this, let people know we're here. I'm about to finish the top 10 with the last one, and then we're going to get into the tips that I'm going to give you guys, and then we're going to show you and do our interview, and then we'll be done. I'm not rushing y'all. I'm happy y'all are here. What about the Jamaican sodas? Jamaican soda is the same. I mean, all sodas, a lot of these sodas, and it's funny, I had one here and I just couldn't find it under the cupboard. I was looking for it. I keep these in my house for teaching purposes, because you guys know I'm an educator. So I teach, so I keep sodas here and I keep different things here. This is not something I consume, nor does my child consume this. But yeah, the Jamaican soda is going to have the same. All right, that's a question from Miss Camille. So you want to watch out for that with your kids. And remember, when you go to the drive-thru, what they're giving you the large cup, right? They're not giving you a small cup. And that's why I said don't supersize. Don't get the large size if you're going to go do that. I know I missed one. I'm going to go back. And I have to do that one. 2 left. Chicken nuggets, guys. So chicken nuggets is by far one of the worst things you can feed your child. Again, lots of chemicals in it that alters the DNA of the child. Okay? Nuggets. Chicken nuggets, so harmless, can alter the DNA of your child, right? Because they're basically putting all these different ingredients in it. 30 different ingredients is being put together to make chicken nuggets. You think that that's what's in chicken. If you could make a slice of chicken, right? If you have a chicken at home, the option is make your own. Slice piece of chicken breast, put over whatever you want on there, and that's going to be a better option with the salt and pepper. Better option than going and buying this chicken nugget that has 30 different ingredients, okay? And it's contributing to diabetes, complications across our nation, right? It has a lot of stuff because it has synthetic products in it. Synthetic products, right? Would you feed your child synthetic products? I don't think so. I know you love your child. You're not feeding them synthetic products, right? So one of the ingredients is actually a petroleum derivative. Tongue-tied. Petroleum. That's what happens when you talk fast. I need to slow down. Petroleum derivative. You guys know me, I talk about, right? It come from petroleum, okay? So that is something, if you're thinking about feeding your child this chicken nugget, just know that there might be some petroleum things in it, okay? And that is not good. And what do they use that for? It's used to stabilize perfume and varnish, and that's not something you want. And they've actually said that they've found tumors. They've done lab tests with rats, with animals, and they found that it causes stomach tumors in the rats. Now, we're not to be compared with rats, but what else can they do? They're testing to give us a good option to see what it can do to our bodies. So, guys, the chicken nuggets business, please, I know it's easy. You want to try and change that up. Try and figure another option. Like I said, make your own from home. I know you parents are thinking, I'm giving you a lot of work to do. Yes, I am. Because it's important. It's very important. Last and final, food of favorite of the child, cereal, and a lot of other people, not just children, not just you pick them love cereal, adults like cereal too. Now, cereal, guys, Lucky Charms, Cheerios were found to have glyphosate. Now, glyphosate is a common weed killer ingredient. They use it to kill weeds, right? It also has trans fat. A lot of cereal have trans fat. And dyes. And remember I said it before, the yellow dye, red dye, all these color that you see on the Cheerios, and the colors are nice and pretty, all of that stuff, carcinogen. All right, so you want to avoid having your child have too much cereal, or if at all, I suggest to you guys maybe look for a better brand. Like for me in my house, I try to use Kashi. I'm not promoting any brand. That's the brand I use. But also, one of my episodes, I did granola. I put together oats. So here today, we're going to do a smoothie. I have some oats, right? So you can basically get some oats. You can get some nuts together. You can make your own. You roast it a little bit. You can roast the oats with all these delicious ingredients. If you want to go back and look at I don't know which show I did it on, but on one of my episodes, I did a granola. And if you follow my Temple Wellness, which is my company, you will also see the granola there. I'm sure I've done it on one of either my Facebook or Instagram page. You can find that recipe. So go follow me on there if you haven't already. Like it, subscribe, and all of that. I have a YouTube channel as well. So again, that's my Temple Wellness, all right? And you can find that. But again, back to cereal. Glyphosate. It's an ingredient that's widely used in herbicide Roundup, okay? And it's been linked to cancer as well. All right, so choose healthier option. It has a lot of sugar. Remember, cereal have a lot of sugar. And, you know, the child is basically ingesting not just the cereal, but remember all the things we've just been talking about? You're eating all these other stuff because the kids menu, think about the kids menu. They're eating this, they're eating the peanut butter, they're eating all sorts of gunk, right? And, you know, for the cereal also, you want to use milks that are not animal milks, right? So I know you guys probably saw my dairy show. Plant-based milks, like almond milk. This is the one I use. And I also have recipe on how to make your own almond milk, should you decide you want to do that as well. That's on my YouTube channel. But guys, seriously, all these things are important. Anne-Marie, I like granola and almond milk, right? Delicious. Author Goslin said they are killing us. Yes. And it's funny you said that because there's a new documentary coming out I want you guys to look out for. It's called They Are Killing Us. It's actually called that. So it's funny you said that. Anyway, guys, so cereal has a lot of things in it that you don't want. All these 10 foods, I already said them. I'm going to go through them again. Be wary. Peanut butter, mac and cheese in the box. Make your own. Pizza, hamburgers, french fries, hot dogs, and deli meats, chicken nuggets, soda, pancake mix. Make your own. That's my best tip when it comes to that. And so now what can you do? So first things first, right? We're going into the next section of this real quick. What can you do, guys? The tips. So before you make a decision that you're going to change, because change just doesn't just happen, all right? There's a period when it comes to psychology, there's a stage that you have to go through, stages of change. So first you're contemplating, you're thinking, a pre-contemplative it's called actually. So you're pre-contemplating, you're not even at the contemplating stage yet. So you got to decide what stage you're at, right? Everybody's at a different stage. I'm at the maintenance stage right now, which is the 5th stage. So I basically just maintain my lifestyle. If I slip up, I just correct. That's where everyone should ultimately be living, right? At the maintenance stage where you're just basically maintaining your diet. So pre-contemplative stage is the first stage. Then contemplative stage is the second stage where you're starting to consider. You come on here, you start to hear me talking about this and you start thinking, Lord have mercy, maybe we should mix up. You know, you start to think about it. You're starting to ponder, should I do something? You know, should I make some type of change? All right. And in the third stage, you're basically trying to evaluate your options. You're trying to say, okay, if I do make a change, is there a restaurant nearby that can do this? How am I going to make that happen? How am I going to basically speak to my household about it? You know, the fourth stage, you're basically taking some action. In the third stage also, you're talking to people about it. You're telling people you're going to do it. You're starting to prepare people. It's called the preparation stage. You're preparing people. You're preparing your family for it, right? And in the fourth stage, like I said, action time. So you take up action. You start doing something. You start, you know, not only talk about it to your friends and family, you start doing something. You start changing your grocery list, right? You start coming on the channel here, listening to me every Monday at 6 o'clock. I'm plugging myself. So yeah, you start to do something. You start to make sure you set yourself up for success. All right. And then, like I said, the final stage, which is maintenance stage, you're literally just, you're like I said, like me, your grocery list is packed with vegetables and fruits, and it's now a lifestyle. This is what you're going to be finding when you come to my house. Every time there's going to be a bowl. This is my mini bowl. I got this bowl when I was in South Africa. And I love it because what I keep in this bowl is my favorite stuff, right? And it's kind of like kiwi and everything I can think of. Anytime I find exotic fruits, I love to put it in this one. But then I have a bigger one. I don't know where it is, but I have a huge bowl, a big bowl, and it stays in my kitchen table. I put the food in eye view, so the fruits and vegetables are always in my sight, in our sight. Whoever lives in this house, and if somebody come over, the fruits are in view. You can see them, you can grab one, right? And that's what you need to do. That's one of the tips that I'm giving you guys today. So I spoke about stages of change because I want you to know it's gradual. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. You work it at the pace that works for you, but it's something that needs to happen if you want to raise healthy children. They're going back to school. Some of them are physically going back. You're going to have to pack lunches. You're going to have to talk to them about what not to eat because there's peer pressure, right? And some kids get mocked for eating vegetables, like mine did. You're vegan, so yeah, guys, number one, talk to your kids. After you go through the stages and you decide what you're going to do, start to talk to your kids. Do not think that your kid is just going to jump on board if you don't have that respectable conversation. We have to respect our children. Sit down and have the conversation and say, hey, Johnny, Susie, whatever the name of your child is, right? This is what we've decided to do. What do you think? Get their feedback, right? Incorporate them in what you're doing because you are making the decision. Yes, it's your child, but also you want them to feel like they're part of it, okay? So you want them to buy into it. So speak to your child, inform them. Oh, go on, Sophia. Welcome. Good to see you, girl. Yes, so you want to speak to them, have them be a part of the conversation, okay? That's number one. Number two, go shopping for the right foods, all right? So parents, this is for you. Go shopping. Now know the list of foods, not to get and to read your ingredients, but now I'm giving you some other tips, right? What you can actually do. So go shopping for the right foods. Like I said before, my grocery list now, or most of the foods that I buy, I stay in a certain aisle in the supermarket every week that I go. I spend majority of my time circling the vegetables. That's it, vegetables and fruits. I go over to where the beans are, get some packaged beans, not even the canned one anymore. Because we're out of quarantine, I can get my beans and soak them and everything. So I go into those aisles. Yes, I might buy a popcorn or something like that, but I check the ingredients. Popcorn is one of my safe ones. It's one of my safe ones, right? So yeah, you want to shop properly. Make sure you have the right food in place. Like I said, keep a fruit bowl. It's going to help you. You eat what you see. People eat whatever they see. If you're starved and all you have is this tangerine, that's all you're going to eat. But if you're starving or you're hungry and you have chips and you have Doritos and you have Oreos and you have all these different options, what you think, of course I'm going to eat all of them, right? Sometimes you might put more than one on your plate or bring the whole bag with you in front of the TV, right? People have been getting the quarantine 10 or quarantine 15. People have been getting the extra weight on because of the quarantine. All right, so shop for the right things. Make sure you got your food bowl. That's number two. Number three, when you go shopping, read the ingredients label. I've been saying that already. Fewer ingredients, the better. 5 is the max, okay? 5 is the max, and make sure that they're not chemicals that you cannot pronounce, okay? So have your children participate in cooking with you. So what I do, I'm an educator. When I was teaching with the kids at school, they are part of it. Even if it doesn't taste that good, they love it. Because you know why? They made it. All right? So you bring them in the kitchen with you. Have them cut up not the onions, because that's going to make them cry. But have them cut up some of the foods with you. Have them, get the fruits together and the tomatoes, whatever it is, and start informing them. When I was teaching, I realized the kids, some of them don't even know half the vegetables that are out there. They don't even, what is that? And it could be something so simple like a pepper. You understand? So bring them with you to the grocery store, but also bring them in the kitchen with you. Have them get their hands dirty. Have them help you. It's going to make a difference, okay? And then choose their favorite foods. Find out what they like. Give them what they like. Not the processed junk. But when it comes to fruits and vegetables, experiment with a variety of stuff. All right? Start picking up things you never normally pick up. And be like, come here, taste this. Right? Start to see what they love, what lights them up, and that's what you're going to prepare for them so they can be healthy. All right. Number 5, observe the advertisements that are being advertised to your children. So that's a part of the problem. They're advertising to your children in the worst ways. You guys know already these cereal boxes are jam-packed with things that are luring them in. You know, the gifts that they get when you go to McDonald's, right? Those little Happy Meals, they get all these happy things or whatever they give them. So pay attention to things like that, because that's the way of them getting them in to, they're targeting your children with these toys. Number 6, portion control. Make sure that you're recognizing that your child's stomach is not the same as yours. I had a plate, but I couldn't find it. The plate size of your child should be smaller than yours. 9-inch for adults, and I believe it's 7-inch for children. All right, so smaller plates. Do not pack a child's plate with the same amount of food, with all the meat and all that stuff. You're cramming their system, and you're actually teaching them to overeat, which is a part of the obesity epidemic right now that we're facing in the world. It's not just in the country, it's in the world. All right, and that is the cause for type 2. One of the causes for type 2 diabetes is obesity, right? So we have to make sure that our children are not overeating. All right, so place whatever it is that they're trying to have some of, whether it's chips or whatever, get a small little bowl. I don't have one here. Get a small bowl and portion it out. Don't send them off with the bag. Put some in a bowl and have them work with that. You know, yeah, you know how we Jamaicans stay. Shirley said, yeah, it's the thing. We're learning, right? We're learning. It's a whole new process. Right. So I also want you guys to know that the BMI that I gave you guys to calculate for yourself, adults, there's one for children. All right. So you can go to the CDC website, Center for Disease Control. They have one there, and you can put your child's information. It's different than the one we do for us as adults. So that's why I'm sending you there. But there's also another website that I actually prefer you go to. It's called kidshealth.org. Get a pen if you didn't already. And I should have told you that at the top of the hour to get a pen. kidshealth.org. Okay, and I'll share it in the comments again. Remember, share this as you guys are here. Share this on your page. Let folks know that we're here. So when you go to kidshealth.org, you can put in your child's information. All right, it's a lot more information, but it's not as much. It's maybe 4 things versus ours is just 2. So you want to do that. Get your child's, get to find out if your child is in a healthy percentile, which is what they call it, the healthy percentile. Number 7, parents. I'm going to say something to you guys. Don't get mad, all right? I want you guys to own your role in your child's diet, all right? Own the role that you're playing in your child's diet. I'm pleading to you. Okay, so if you are encouraging them to eat poorly and you know that, own that. And then think about how you can make it better, all right? So whatever role you play, if it's, you know, I don't want to say you're not playing a positive role, but sometimes because we're tired, sometimes because we just don't have the time, we just kind of say, all right, yeah, man, go, take what you want or whatever. We buy them whatever they ask. Know the role you're playing that contributes to your child's health. All right, so that's one of my tips. You have to own that. All right, if there's some role that you're playing in your child's health, you have to own it. All right, own it, correct it if it needs to be corrected. Your habits, your patterns, they're watching you. You are the role model, right? Whatever you do, I see my son, whatever his dad does, he does it. He working out with him. You know, if he's eating this and he likes it, case in point, my husband eats aloe. Raw aloe. He'll cut the aloe, small piece of the aloe, and he'll chew it. What is my son doing? He's cutting the aloe himself, and he's 16, and he's eating aloe. Now, aloe don't taste good because I eat aloe every now and then, and it doesn't taste very good, but he's doing it. So again, if you are doing these habits and they're good and they're healthy, your child will pick them up and they'll start doing them. So that's what I mean. You play the role, you be the role model, you start, you help them, all right? 8, get them moving, get them off the computers, get them off the cell phones. They need to be outside. They need to be exercising. Again, whatever form of movement they can do, you need to be doing that with your kids. Play games with them. That's very important. All right. Number 9, make substitutions. Like I said before, change the peanut butter, simple things like that. It's going to make a world of difference. All right. Don't just be stuck to the same old routine and the same old recipe. Make some changes. So Camille says, can you please give the name of the YouTube channel and email or website? Okay, so my website is mytemplewellness.com. And when you go to that page, you'll be able to find my social media handles. I'm on Facebook right here as My Temple Wellness. I'm on Instagram as My Temple Wellness. I share a lot of recipes and videos and things. I have not been putting a lot on YouTube, but there are some recipes up there right now that you can go look at. All right. But once you follow me, you'll be in the community. We talk. People email me all the time and send me instant messages, and I respond. So feel free to check me out there. So get your kids' body moving. Make sure they're exercising. Start with you. Go for walks with them. And I said number 9 already, which is substitute options. And finally, guys, make the time. It really is coming down to time. It's coming down to you also having the right language around food. Vegetables is not a punishment, right? So eat your vegetables. It's not a punishment. You know, vegetables is good for the body. You have to help them to understand that. So now we're done with that section. I see there probably are some questions. I'm going to call my guest on today so we can get that going, and then I'm going to run through. So KJ, if you're ready. So my own son, KJ, is coming on. You guys going to finally get to meet this young man. Where are you? You coming? I think he was on his device or something. Here he come. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
So he's almost as tall as me. So guys, meet KJ, also known as Kerrick Jr. No, Kurt II. So yeah, this is him. I'm going to be asking him some questions. So the reason I wanted to bring him on, thank you for your insight. All right, I'm going to address your guys. Lorna, I'll address all your stuff. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. All right, so I brought him on because he was 12 when we decided to go plant-based, and I wanted him to give his little insight on, not little because it's not little, I wanted him to give his insight on what it was like for him. So I'm going to ask him a few questions and see if maybe he can help you guys out as well with some ideas. You have Matanaya? We live, y'all. We live. We all the way live. Isn't he handsome though? Give him some thumbs up if you think he's a handsome young man. Am I embarrassing you?
No.
No? Okay, good. I think I'm embarrassing him, but that's all right. He'll be all right. All right, so this young man, like I said before, I have my questions written down. So he's going to give his answer. He's going to let you know what he thinks. I do hope he's going to share from his heart what it is that he thinks. So as a 16-year-old boy, I'm asking you the questions now that I told you I'm going to ask you, all right? So as a 16-year-old boy who made the switch with us, with me and your dad, right? How was it when we told you that we were going to start eating just vegetables and basically go vegan? What was that like for you?
Well, I just thought in my head, like, let me try to adapt, but if I miss chicken enough, I'm going to use my allowance to go buy it.
Okay, which is true, and we don't necessarily tell him not to eat the chicken, to be honest. So if he's home with us, we don't cook chicken, but if he gets an allowance and he goes out, so what are we saying with that? I would say have restrictions, but not really have restrictions. For a teenager, for example, you know, if he has the money and he wants to make a purchase and buy himself a little Popeyes, is the one you like?
Yeah, I used to buy it.
Yeah. Then that's the one. He's gonna live his own life, but you have to impart in him, right? So that's what he's. Okay, great answer. Thank you for that. So is there any kind of peer pressure that you go through to eat certain foods in any aspect of your life?
In the beginning, there's a lot of peer pressure, but once you get into the habit of eating healthy, it becomes very easy.
Yeah.
After a while, yeah.
So it's easy for you now, you think?
Yeah. Much easier than when we first started eating vegan.
Okay.
Or plant-based.
Okay.
You get used to it, and like, not people that be like, I got some chicken over here. You don't have to listen every single time. You can be like, nah, I'm good. You know what your body needs, you know?
What about school lunches? How is the school lunches for you? Are you eating the school lunches?
Well,
or
I pack my own lunch.
Yeah, he does that. Sometimes he even fasts, guys. He doesn't. He's gotten so used to it. In the beginning, like he said, it was a little bit challenge. So what are some of your favorite plant-based foods?
Lasagna.
I had to make that last night, guys. I had to make the lasagna last night, and it's plant-based lasagna. I wish I could show you guys some of it.
The fried cauliflower.
Fried cauliflower?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a substitution for fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know.
Does it taste like fried chicken?
I mean, it tastes something like fried chicken.
It's okay. It has similar flavors, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. How important do you believe it is that parents lead by example? Does that matter if a parents lead by example, you think?
Yeah, I think it matters a lot.
Yeah?
Because the child won't start unless the parent initiates it.
Okay. Because if we never started, would you have wanted to?
No.
Yeah, that is true. All right, just a couple more. You're doing great, KJ. So do you care about the ingredients that's in certain foods?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I always check the label because, this stuff goes into your body. It's not just like filtering out itself, so.
Okay. And is there any ingredients that you found in a particular food that really upset you or that you liked or something and now you can't really eat it because you found out that, oh my gosh, these are the ingredients?
Well, I don't remember when it comes to food because I don't really eat packaged stuff, but when I was about to drink a soda one time, I was like, I basically checked how much sugar was going in there, and I was like, man, that's a lot.
Yeah, so now he knows that, and that's the thing. I've been teaching him. Is like I said, he's 16 now. Back then he was 12, so I've changed, and he's come to his own with that, right? So let me see what else. I have a couple more. So is it important for you to have some freedom around the food that you're eating?
Yeah, because if you think of it as a punishment, I could have just easily just sneak in, So
yeah. So
there's options everywhere. You have to control it though.
Nice. Very cool. All right. So last question, and then you're off the hook. You could go back to what you were doing. What advice would you give to parents and kids about their plant-based lifestyle? If somebody wanted to go plant-based or something like that, like what advice would you give the parents? What advice would you give the kids?
I would say go, basically don't go immediate, don't rush into it.
Okay.
Just basically have a balance, start off with a balance because that's the best thing. Like you're not going to die from having a balance. It's better, it's worse if you just like eat something that's bad for you all the time and not even try anything good. I say have a mixture, and one way to be very comfortable with plant-based, in my opinion, is basically just make everything, be creative. You can't not be creative when you're going plant-based. Otherwise, it's never gonna last.
That is true. Very good. You did so good. I'm so proud of you. Any last words before we go? We have a couple minutes. We could show these folks how to make these food. Actually, he helps me with preparing for this today. So anything else before we go? We're gonna finish up here, show people how to make a couple quick things and then go. Any final words you want to say before we go?
No, I think I touched it on.
Okay. All right, guys. You guys need to pick him up. Thank you so much, KJ. Yeah. That's my boy. Yeah, so he's been plant-based since he was 12. And like I said, now he does his push-ups and he's working out with his dad and all sorts of stuff. And it's been really great. And he helps me a lot in the kitchen. I get him involved, and I think it really makes a big difference on the eating. All right, guys. So we have a few minutes. Let's show you how to make a smoothie. So what I have here, I have a couple of things, right? So we're going to do a smoothie real quick. I'll show you guys how to do that. What you want to do before we get to the smoothie, we're going to do a quick pizza. I'm going to show you how to make a pizza for your child from home. So you can get these bread, right? If you don't want to use, let's say, this option that I found this at Whole Foods. This is an ancient grain bread. Remember, I'm always talking about the type of bread, right? So this is an ancient grain bread. I basically will make this for the family on a Friday night because we try to have fun food night. So that's Friday fun food night. And I'll make a pizza that's this big. But for the sake of what we're doing tonight, I'm just going to do a very small one and just show you guys how to do it. So we're going to zoom the camera down just a little bit more on the table. So you'll be seeing more of the table and less of me. All right. So sorry, my head's going to get cut off, but just understand for the sake of this exercise. So I'm going to move a couple of things here. So for example, with the bread, let me just go ahead. I have the ingredients here. So these are the ingredients that I have for the pizza, okay? And let me just go ahead and cut a small piece. And everything, you guys know I'm a germaphobe already, so my kitchen is nice and clean. Tables are good. So you have your pizza dough, right? Whatever kind of pizza dough you want to have. This is some ancient grain option. You want to get some pizza sauce, not pizza sauce, some pasta sauce or tomato sauce, whichever one you like. They have sugar-free tomato sauce as well, right? So if you don't want to use the one with sugar. So you basically just, it's very simple. I have plant-based cheese in the fridge, but I'm not going to put any on today. So KJ is the one who made this for me earlier. And that's just basically mushrooms, because he likes mushrooms with peppers and onions. Whatever your child likes, remember, that's what you're going to put on your pizza, okay? So homemade pizza is going to be better than the one you get in the store. Once again, because you can choose the bread and you can choose all the other ingredients. So you're going to throw your broccoli. This is a great way to get your kids to eat vegetables that they don't generally want to eat. You want to put it on a pizza, all right? So that's why we're doing this tonight. Again, whatever he likes, right? So a little onion, and I know what he likes, and he helped me to cut all this stuff up earlier. And that's basically it, okay? We're going to put that in the oven, but we don't have time to do it right now. We heat it for about 5 to 10 minutes, and it's ready to go. So that's the first thing that I'm going to show you guys, or that I wanted to share with you guys on what you can do for your child. All right, another option here is a bowl or a plate that is jam-packed with lots of veggies. And normally what you can put in the center is some type of dipping, right? And I wanted to show you guys how to make it, but we didn't have time. So nuts and seeds, right? You can give them some nuts and seeds, which they also need in their body. You have strawberries. Make it colorful. That's the most important thing. When it's colorful, the kids are gravitated towards it. Some kids love cherry tomatoes because they explode in their mouths, right? Peppers, right? All these great things that you can have here on a plate. You can put their favorite dipping in the middle, and that's a nice option for you. Finally, I'm going to show you how to make a smoothie on our last minute here. So you want to have your plant-based milk, for example, and this is great in the morning, okay? It's a great option for morning and also evening snack if they wanted something, or even lunch, right? So you want to put a bit of milk in it. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to show you how to make things nice and colorful. We're going to put some strawberries in there. Okay, and that's another way for you getting them to have their fruits and vegetables. This is oats, so I'm going to put a bit of that in it. That's why I said it's great for breakfast, because that has fiber, and the oats is really good for the body. Blueberries, gonna give it some color. So it's gonna be like a purple, again with the color, right, with kids. Bananas, right? We're gonna put some bananas in there. Normally the banana should be a little bit riper than this, guys, but that's okay. So you just throw your bananas in there. Finally, I'm just gonna need another spoon. Finally, we're going to put some of the good peanut butter in there. Okay. So, and this can be for you and your child. This entire amount right here could be for you and your child, right? Whatever you do, wrong one. Whatever you do, they're going to do. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put that together if you have a glass. Finally, we're just going to blend that together. All right, guys, so all done. You see the color is pink. So for your girls, you can do the pink for more, and that's because you put strawberries. Also slightly purple. If you want it to be darker, you want to add some more blueberries in it, all right? And that's basically your smoothie. We're all done, guys. I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to taste this on camera. If you want to pull the camera back up for me, that'd be great. And then remember, guys, I already had talked about the apple with the peanut butter slices. So these are some of the things you want to do with your child. You want to make foods with them like the one I just showed you. I'm going to have this smoothie and say goodnight. Thank you guys for watching. If you have questions, please let me know. Don't forget, follow, share, and like as well. Let's see how this tastes. It is absolutely delicious. Y'all know I don't fool around. I love my food. But make this smoothie at home. You can put, it doesn't need any sugar. I wanted to make sure I say that. It does not need any sugar. The riper the banana, the sweeter it's going to be. All right, so make sure you get your banana them ripe. The supermarket didn't have the ripe one, so this is not as sweet as I would like it, but it's really still very good. You can also freeze this, put it in a freezer, and kind of make it like a little bit ice cream. All right, so we're all done, guys. Thank you so much for watching. The time just went by so fast tonight, I feel like. Love you guys. I'll see you soon. And again, follow, share, and like My Temple Wellness and also Jamaicans.com. Thank you so much, Camille, Shirley. Apple and peanut butter is very good. Yes, that's a good one. I'll comment on all your guys' posts in a little bit. All right, have a good night. Sleep well. Love y'all. See y'all next Monday at 6 p.m. on Jamaicans.com.